Thank you for joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. You probably know what paranoia is, right? That feeling that the world is out to get you or that things are working against you. Well, today I want to give you the opposite word, and that word is called pronoia. See, pronoia is the belief that the world is conspiring in your favor, that things are behind the scenes or quietly, secretly working for you, even when it doesn't feel like that in the moment. This term, pronoia, was coined by a sociologist back in the 1980s. And when he first coined it, it was actually meant as a criticism. He thought it was, the sociologist thought it was naive. But over the years, I think a lot of thinkers and entrepreneurs and writers, they flipped the meaning a little bit. They realized that as a deliberate mindset, not a delusion, but a choice, a deliberate mindset, that pronoia might be one of the most practical tools that one can possess. I want to share something personal with you here. I've been in, business for a little while now, a couple decades. And when I look back, like when I really reflect on my 20 plus years, here's what I found. What I found is that almost everything has worked itself out over time. The deal that fell apart, or the person I hired that I, thought was really going to nail it and it didn't work out, or the market that collapsed on me. In the moment, those scenarios all felt really heavy. In some of these situations, I felt like, man, this might be my last days of business. I lost sleep over things like this. And that sleep I lost, or those situations, I can barely remember them today. Right? I could barely remember it, in the sense that with time and with reflection, I'm almost always content with how things played out. The path I ended up on was usually better than the one I was maybe fighting to stay on. So the question I keep coming back to is, if almost everything has worked out in a positive sense, why do I stress? Why do we stress so much when we're in the middle of it? That's what pronoia, I think, is about. Not pretending the problems don't exist, but just carrying a different default belief about where things are headed. Let me give you a few ways that I think this works. Number one, or how it works for us. Number one, pronoia can actually be a performance edge because it's self-fulfilling. When you believe things will work out, you have a tendency to behave differently. You might try harder, or you might stay in the game longer. Again, if you believe things are going to work out, you might take the extra swing. You might be more creative. You might find ways to solve that if you were to tap out, you wouldn't have found. Here's the thing about opportunities. You only spot them if you're actually looking for them. So the person who believes the world is working for them has a different filter with respect to finding opportunities or openings than someone who feels differently. The person who believes the world's against them, they're actually just scanning for more threats. So the same circumstances, two completely different sets of results. Number two, pronoia actually helps you reframe your setbacks, like the rejection or the lost opportunity or the plan that collapsed or the market that collapsed on you. Paranoia says something like, see, the world is against you. Pronoia asks a better question. Pronoia asks, what if this is working for me? What is this redirecting me toward? Like, if you think about your own history, I bet you that the biggest positive turns in your life came disguised as setbacks. Now, again, in the moment, it doesn't feel this way, but when you reflect back on your own history, the biggest positive turns, they might have come as a set of perceived setbacks. For example, I was just talking with someone about a week ago about a career path that didn't go as they had planned, but it forced them to build a business that they're so proud of today. Or, you take a situation where a door closes on you, but that door shut on you and it pushed you down a better hallway. See, you didn't see it then, but you're able to see it now. Pronoia is just learning to trust that pattern while you're still living in it, while you're still inside it. I think this is really important for our younger entrepreneurs that are listening here, right? Like, take it from some of the more experienced individuals. These are the stories we tell over and over again. And so trust the process. Trust in those that have come before you. Number 3, and I think this one matters. Pronoia is not toxic positivity. It's not toxic positivity. Toxic positivity says everything is fine. In other words, ignore the problem. We're only going to have good vibes here. That's not pronoia. That is denial. Denial gets you hurt, gets people hurt. Pronoia actually says something totally different. It says, hey, this is hard, this is real, and it's still doable, or it's still workable. The belief itself does not replace the work. It actually should be fueling the work. It should be energizing the work. You still have to make the calls. You still have to fix the problem. You just do it with the extra weight, without the extra weight of believing that you're doomed, that the world is conspiring against you. So I'm talking about belief plus effort. It's never belief instead of effort. So here's what I want to challenge you to do this week. I want you to actually build your own file of evidence. Sit down and write out 3 moments from your past that felt like disasters at the time, but then they worked out. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your career. Go personal if you have to. Go to your childhood if that's what it takes. Just sit down and write down 3 moments from your past that felt like the world was ending or disasters at that time, but they ended up working themselves out. Maybe even worked out better than your original plan. Write down what you felt then and write how it actually turned out. Many of the No Days Off Nation know the start of my real estate career came from massive real estate failure. And in the moment, it felt catastrophic. It felt like a massive disaster. But you know what? When I reflect back, man, that really worked out well for me. I'm so glad in a sick and twisted way it went that direction. So write how you felt then, write how it actually turned out. Then the next time something goes sideways this week or this month, and inevitably as an entrepreneur, something likely will go sideways, pull that file up, those 3 things you wrote down. Just look at your own track record. The evidence says it worked out, so just trust the evidence. That's all I have for you today, the No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.